We the millennials, bro. We the millennials, bro.
What up, everybody? It's your boy Victory alongside Valentino and Chuck.
How we doing?
What's up?
How's it going?
Good to be here.
All right, another week as a millennial. You know, just living life out here.
We back for episode 2.
Got a lot of good stuff to talk about.
We do have a lot of good stuff. A lot of stuff happened this week.
Episode 2.
Yeah. So
I've been thinking about this all week. I could not wait.
Yeah, like I had so much fun with the first one that I was real excited to be back for episode 2.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and thank you guys for the feedback and for listening. Really love the support.
You can hear us this week.
Right.
yeah, that's what we're working on.
We hollering.
Yeah, we're making sure that y'all can hear us because, I mean, all the positive feedback was dope. And people were like, right away. Like, people were listening to it when it came out. They were like, yo, this is dope.
I got so many shout outs.
Yeah.
Even from people that like I haven't heard from in like a year.
Yeah.
Were sending me messages saying they loved it. Like it just it felt good. It felt good.
So
all right,
let's start hitting on our topics for this week. We saw some interesting things in the news this week, guys. So I saw, which really triggered me a little bit. I think that's a millennial word, isn't it?
Triggered.
Triggered. All of West Virginia's public school teachers are on strike. The whole state.
No one's learning.
No one's learning anything.
No one.
And that was like, we see strikes all the time, and it's something we don't hear about. Like I didn't hear about it until recently, and when I saw it, it was like, yeah, we've been on strike for like 7 days. So no one's been to school in 7 days in West Virginia at the time that I saw this post.
Yeah, I feel like this isn't something that normally gets into like Fox News or MSNBC. Like no one really
local
talks
news.
Yeah, so I did some digging, and apparently West Virginia is like bottom 3 in teacher pay in the country.
Wow.
Like they're really low. And we all already know that teachers don't get paid enough.
Right.
Right. We mentioned with Chuck last week, who was a teacher for a few months after he graduated.
A few months for a year.
Was it a whole year?
Come on, man.
Don't shortchange him.
Dude, I thought I honestly thought you left after like the first semester because that's what it sounded like. Like you were just like, nah, screw this. I hate these little kids.
As much as no, I love the kids. Love the kids. Hated the parents. Hey, buddy.
What's up, Finn?
Finn's in the room.
Finn the golden doodle.
What up, Finn's in the building?
Way.
We're gonna show you guys what Finn looks like. So
Hey, bud.
He's very active. He's knocking things down.
He's under the table now.
Yeah. Oh man.
What up, Finn?
He's a big boy too.
What is he?
Oh my
golden
God.
doodle?
Yeah, he's a golden doodle.
Big golden doodle.
Come on, Finn.
Come on, bud.
Hey, come on. Thanks for visiting.
And just to let you guys know, the door was completely closed, and he just opened it himself.
He just pushed in. He pushed his way in. He's a big boy.
Very smart.
But yeah, so like, no one's learning anything in West Virginia, and apparently the students now are acting on behalf of the teachers as well, and organizing protests to help the teachers, which is really cool because like I feel like when I was younger, if the teachers were on strike, it'd have been like party.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
right.
I would have been so pumped.
We
Like,
out here.
we don't have school today.
Right.
Okay, cool. There's still a strike. Okay, cool. I'm not going to school.
Yeah, but I think after so long, it's kind of like, all right, this is real. Like, we're not learning anything.
Yeah.
You know, you have those kids, the good ones, who want to make a change for teachers. You know, they see that they need an education. You know.
Agreed with that.
So.
Yeah. I actually found it funny. I saw Akron tweeted something, and they were like, if you're a high school student and you're protesting or doing something and you get in trouble, your scholarship is not in jeopardy. Like you'll still get that. That's fine. So I like that they're pushing people to actually have a voice and participate in all this stuff.
I did see that.
That's the same thing with the school shooting in Florida. Those kids organized, just kids around the country organized strikes and walkouts and things like that, and that was supported by teachers as well. That was supported by teachers, parents.
I think I saw a couple of universities tweet or like post about not rescinding offers for kids who were a part of those protests, which is really cool because everyone needs a voice, kind of deal. I think when we were in school, our teachers at Akron were on strike for a little bit. They were.
Yeah, it was really short.
Yeah, and they were out in front of the student union with their picket signs.
Yeah, we just kept walking.
I forgot about.
But like, I like it now that people actually stand for something.
Yeah,
like and the world is like pushing you to stand for something. If you believe in it, stand with it, and we'll back you.
It's crazy times right now,
Yeah,
there's a lot going on.
I mean, and with social media and the news being so widespread,
yeah,
I mean, speaking up and doing something about it is a great possibility and something that you should definitely do.
And you can reach a really wide audience with it because you have social media.
Right.
Like, it's just like, look what we're doing. Everyone sees it.
Right.
Which is dope.
That's how they organize those walkouts, those protests.
Yep.
Was through, Twitter and Facebook groups and things like that. So
the power's at our fingertips when we have these things. They're in Florida and they're like, all right, tweet this, and somebody in Colorado can follow along because they see it at a moment's notice. Yep. Nobody waiting for the snail mail anymore. Mm-hmm. I hate getting snail mail, by the way. Like, I just want everything to be online. Right. Like, I had like hospital bills, and like they wrote like the website like really small in the corner, and I was like, am I gonna have to mail these people a check?
Yeah, because then you gotta get stamps.
My God, yo,
when was the last time you bought stamps?
The price went up.
The price went up. What's it, 50 cents now?
I want to say it's like $1 or $1.25.
I forgot that I needed a stamp one time. Like, I pushed something in the mail and it came back to my house. It was like, yo, we can't send this, and I was just like, what? Why did it come back? And I remembered I didn't put a stamp on it. But I don't think there wasn't a very wide range of time for us where sending mail was a huge thing. Like, in our age group, like, you weren't really sending that much letters through the mail. I mean, you might have had pen pals when you were like in elementary school.
Yep.
But
they taught us how to in elementary school, but I always have to like look at another letter just to see how the layout is.
I always forget where the stamp goes compared to like the return address.
Yeah.
You gotta have that.
Akron sent me some of those, like it has your name and your address on it after you graduate, because they want money from you.
Right.
So they prepare you the little sticky thing that has your name and address on it, and I just use those instead of, because my handwriting is atrocious. So like when you write that return address up in that corner, it's so big and ugly.
Right.
I have mine around here somewhere. But.
Yeah, so I just use those, and I don't send that much mail.
I'm not gonna send anything. I'm sorry.
Like,
I'll send you an email.
Yeah. Like, just
same
put
thing
it
with
online.
writing checks. Like, I have to
Mm-hmm.
write a check for my rent, and I just wish that he would download like Venmo or something like that.
Right?
Just come on, man.
I was talking to my coworker, and she was balancing her checkbook, and I was just like, "Whoa, we're still balancing checkbooks? Like, am I gonna have to do that at any point, or is checking over?"
I feel like that's not.
I feel like you're gonna have to. No, well, but you still got to pay bills and stuff, so you might not be writing the checks as
like, you
much.
could take them out of your debit card.
Like, I have a budget.
Yeah.
I follow a budget,
Yeah.
but I don't balance a checkbook.
That just sounds too hard. I had to do that in high school or something like that.
I don't entirely know what balancing a checkbook is. Like, I've heard people say it a lot, but I just write the check. If I don't have enough money in my bank account,
we don't balance.
They'll just send it back.
I mean, that is very true. But you get penalized. Like, if you do that with like a lot of these, like if you have a lot of bills coming out of your checkbook, you'll get penalized because you cast something that they're gonna cast something and it's gonna bounce, and then it's gonna charge you and them probably.
I'm proud to say I've never had a check bounce.
I haven't either.
I've been broke, but like after I paid my bills, like you get paid and you're like, ooh, I got money, but it's like the first of the month, so rent is due, and it's just like, I got like 2 drinks.
Or you can just get a girlfriend who gets drinks from other guys for you.
Ooh.
And that'll
Yes. Talk about it.
Oh, right. I was like, wait, Chuck, were you there?
No, you told me about it last week.
No.
Oh my God. So we're at the bar, right? This is dope, because look, who does this? She's like,
yeah, I wasn't coming after you. Like, this is actually a clutch move.
Yeah, so we're at the bar. We were at where were we? Bear Market?
Yeah, Speakeasy.
Yeah, and
Ohio City.
Hal looks at me and she's like, oh, what do you want? And I was just like, just a Miller Lite. And she was like, yeah, this dude's gonna buy it. And I was just like, what? And she and so she's like talking to this dude and had him buy her drink and my drink. And she was like, wait, I got to drink some of it first. So he thinks I'm drinking it and like turns around and hands me this beer. And I'm just like, shit, I didn't have to pay for it. And then just walks away. And I was just like, I was dumbfounded. Abby was with us and Maria was there. Klaus was there. We were all there. And
we had a squad.
Yeah. And everyone was just like, yo, she really just did that. Like, she did that. And I was like, yo, like.
That is savage.
Yo, women have superpowers.
That's it.
They do. They have so much superpowers. They can do all types of cool shit that we can't do.
But we're always around those guys who be buying drinks for girls, and I'm not that guy. I'm sorry. Like I'll buy a drink for my girlfriend or something, or for my friends, but I'm not walking up to a random girl like, let me buy you a drink.
She gonna say she has a boyfriend,
right? But she'll tell you she has a boyfriend after. Yeah. But then like, can a girl walk up to me and buy me a drink ever? That's what I want.
I mean, you're pretty good looking, but
it happened to me once, I think.
Oh,
yeah, once.
Yeah,
it was an older lady.
Some girl sent me a drink from down the bar one time at Manny's. Yeah.
What?
They were like, yeah, that blonde girl down there, and I was just like, I'm about to drink it.
That is a classic move.
Yeah.
I need to start doing that.
There's that on social media now. There have been these posts about people who are like airdropping pictures of themselves.
Yes, that is a move.
Do you want to buy me a drink or something? Like a girl would like airdrop.
What?
Do you want to buy me a drink?
I thought about that. I didn't know that would actually work because you can open it up to where anyone can send it to you or just your contacts. So I always open mine up and I was like, do people actually see this?
Apparently it pops up on your screen.
Yeah, like when
somebody airdrops something,
you get a preview
it's a notification.
When you go to like share. Like say you go to send a photo to somebody. If you leave it right there and the share options come up, it'll show you everybody with their airdrop on in that area. Like that happened to me at work. I was just airdropping a photo from myself on my computer to my phone, and then I had everyone in the office right there.
Yeah, go to a crowded place, like go to a bar, like the mall or something like that. Turn on your airdrop and see all the people that come up.
Challenge
you
of
can just
the
mess
week.
with people.
And go mess with people. Listeners, go.
Challenge of the week. Let us know if you can get a drink by doing that. Airdropping somebody
dope.
want to buy me a drink and put your picture in there.
Yeah.
So you know it's real.
And hit us up on like Twitter or something.
Hashtag 2Millennial.
Yeah. Let us know if that works for you.
Yeah, for sure. That would be so dope. We want to see you guys do that. For sure. Yo, we're about to get mad at these.
Yeah.
Our phone's about to crash.
It's too much.
But it's worth it. So worth it.
But yeah, and that I was dumbfounded when I saw like those that was a thing. People were just posting them all over the place. Yeah,
it's
airdropping. Yeah,
that is so.
But
worth
I mean,
it.
that's that college life, man.
Right.
Like it's always been people like in like crowded bars and stuff.
And experimenting.
Remember a late night at Manny's?
Oh,
pushing your way through.
Yeah.
Trying to get a drink.
But you knew everyone too, so it was just so easy. And then you couldn't go through the bar without seeing, like, not seeing somebody you knew. And then they would buy you a drink, and it's like, dude, when you got drunk, that was the worst time because it was like, I'm just not trying to have any more drinks anymore. Then somebody comes up to you and they're like, hey, let's take shots, man. Oh. And then you walk 2 more feet, and then it's like, dude, let's take shots. And it's like, dude, I'm gonna die at Manny's. I'm gonna die.
So they opened up a speakeasy, quote unquote, and where Tabbouleh used to be, or before Tabbouleh it was the coffee shop or whatever was back there. Yep. And so that's where we were at last night. And the main bar was jam packed, and we were just back there getting wasted.
So like, no one came back there?
Not that many people. It was just one bartender back there, and we were back there getting trash.
This is next to Manny's?
Yeah, it's like in the back of it.
Yeah.
And so it's really cool because there wasn't nobody back there. They just opened this week. But it was different, we went there from my Darty. Y'all should. Oh my God! Why do people jump off roofs onto tables?
Wait, can we rewind? This guy said Darty, not party. He said Darty.
Yeah, day party.
Day party, Darty.
Day party.
Day
party in the daytime.
Oh, man. I thought you said date party.
No, day.
We're still making up words and stuff.
I didn't make that up.
Remember, just day drinking.
The college.
Yeah, but isn't that what that is?
Yeah, it's the same.
You're
thing.
just day drunk.
Yeah,
but it's a Darty.
It's a Darty.
That's the best thing when you get drunk in the day. You take a nap. You wake up at night and you're just still drunk. And you go to the bar,
confused as hell.
Yeah,
we didn't even take naps yesterday. It was just.
Was this an occasion?
JT had his pants over his shoulders.
What?
JT's pants got wet in the bar. And he just took them off and had on basketball shorts and is like walking out the bar with his pants slung over his shoulder.
Dude, there's just no limit. When you're at college, you'll do anything.
It doesn't matter.
Like, I'll look stupid, but I'm gonna do it.
Because it's those years in your life where you're just like, whatever, dude. Like, it's just you're away from home. Mm-hmm. You have this freedom that you didn't have before, and it's just like, well, let's just see what I can get myself into. And that's very true. That's a big part of college life. And you learn to balance stuff, but once the weekend comes, it's just like,
yeah. And
you're gone.
And for all of our college listeners, live it up while you're there. I mean,
God,
the real world will hit you real fast.
Yeah.
Real fast. But live it up while you're there, because you're not going to get that again.
Unless you go back.
It's still not even the same, is it, Val?
It's not the same. Going back is not the same, but like, I'm around campus. I live and work there, so
you have more responsibilities.
Yeah,
now,
I have way more responsibilities.
Being like as a grad student,
yeah,
grad student's way different than being undergrad, where you just like live on campus and
So I have a question with being a grad student. Do you ever feel old?
All the time.
God.
Like, so
you have to.
That house party that we were at yesterday, like, I was clearly like, me and Hal was there, and Rachel was there, and we were like obviously the oldest people there, because we were just hanging back, like looking and laughing, because like, it was people throwing beer from like the lawn onto the porch and stuff, and they were like shotgunning beers. I did shotgun a beer yesterday. I'm really bad at it, so I'll never race shotgun anybody. But I can do the thumb thing where I put my thumb through the beer. Classic. So it looks really cool.
Yeah.
But I'm really slow. So, like, I don't want to hype people up to see the shotgun race, and then my shotgun takes like 7 seconds.
You just look like a pro, and then it's like, wait, what? He can't even drink it?
That dude sucks.
Still working on that. Still drinking.
They just walk away and go back to the party while you're still drinking.
They were like jumping in this house, dude, and like the floor was about to cave in, and I was just.
Remember when we did that to Maria's place?
That happened. Yeah, we broke the floorboard.
It was us. It was us in the Sigma News, wasn't it? Yeah.
That
dude,
was our.
We were having beer
Olympics,
and we got in trouble for that
because we were all wearing letters.
Yeah.
But if you guys have ever seen San Andreas, the movie with The Rock. Oh man, how the ground just breaks like underneath you, and then you got to jump up on stuff. That's what we did. Like, the floor broke, everyone was standing on it, and then people just kind of like jumped up onto this couch like, oh my God.
And then we just started yelling, everybody got to get out.
I remember looking into the living room and seeing everybody get 3 inches shorter.
Yeah.
It's so
that was nuts.
Bro.
I never saw the look of fear on people's faces until I saw that. Like, I don't even think we were really doing anything.
Fear.
We weren't trying to break it.
No, we weren't like jumping around, but there was just
it was a lot of us. Yeah, it was a lot of us. And that house was built for little people.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I hit my head on everything.
Oh, yeah, because remember their bathroom.
Their bathroom
was real small.
Yeah, and every time we put a keg in there and we do keg stands, there was just footprints on their ceiling.
Yeah, so I mean, and those footprints stayed there for the remainder of the time they lived there.
It wasn't nobody getting up there to clean that.
No, I mean
they're probably still there, to be honest.
Right. I mean, I kind of want to go to that house and just go to a party and see.
No, that floorboard probably still not fixed.
They probably just propped it.
That's another college life thing. College housing sucks.
Oh, dude, it's terrible.
I'm pretty sure my landlord took all of our deposit, and we went back to that house afterwards, and nothing was fixed. Everything was the same.
Yeah, what are they doing with that? What do you do with that deposit?
Making money.
Balling out. Like when you get your refund check from student loans, and you're just like, I could put this back to my student loans or get books and stuff, but this pair of shoes or this laptop look balling. I'm gonna go get that now.
Gonna go do a darty at Manny's.
You don't darty at Manny's. You darty at somebody's house and then go to Manny's or go to whatever bar you go to. Speaking of that, St. Patrick's Day is coming up, and I am excited. Yes. Oh my God.
Going downtown?
Yeah, we're going downtown. Cleveland for sure is the move. I tried to convince JT to come with us, but he's like, I just turned 21, so like,
so let's turn up downtown because that makes sense.
Yeah, but he broke.
Man,
and it's on a Saturday.
It is on a Saturday. It's gonna be really bad. Like, we're all gonna. It's man.
You just mentioned a good point. When you're in college, you always say you're broke, but you'll find a way to drink. You'll always find a way to drink. You'll get that $20 case, and you'll go to the bar and still buy some shots and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, you'll borrow money from a friend to buy drinks for someone else.
Ooh, I bet there are dudes out there doing that. Like,
they're definitely
yo, she fine, bro. Let me borrow some money.
Let me get a 10 real quick. I'll pay you back.
Oh man.
No, you won't. I'll never see that again.
Right.
Because you're getting drunk and then you're not thinking about it. So like tomorrow it didn't even happen.
Yep.
But it's so. You think people still do that when we're in like Cleveland and stuff like that? You think people still
I
doing
hope
like,
not.
people that are our age?
I feel like they should
that are
be
still in college. But like if we go to the bar,
but that's your friend who doesn't have a job and you invite them out just to come out. But I feel like that's entailed with that. Like you don't have a job, so I'm obviously inviting you out and I'm gonna pay for you. But if you're still doing that, that's sad. That is sad.
There was this kid in high school. His name was Kegwin, that's a really funny name. But Kegwin would go around and just ask people for $1.
Oh, I used to do that.
He did it all the time. He'd be like, yo, let me borrow $1. And like, it worked really well for him because people never really thought about it. It was just $1. Mm-hmm. And you'd give him $1 and then he would pull a stack of cash out his pocket.
That was all the time. That was before like Square Cash came out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
People do that now. They request $1. Sure, I'll send you $1.
Lima always did that.
If you do it from like 30 people, your night is paid for.
Yeah, that is true. Lima did that, and then if you ignore it and you don't say anything, it'll remind you every week. It would be like Lima's requesting $1. I was like, are you kidding me?
Lima would be the type of person to do that. He does do that.
I'll just send $1. Like I've had friends that let me get $5, and I'll just send them $5. I didn't even ask what it was for. I'm just like, if you need it, you need it.
Kadeem and I do that all the time.
Yeah, that's who the main culprit is.
Yeah. He sent me $20 the other day, and he was just like something plus interest, and I was just like, when did I owe you? When did I lend you money? And he was just like, I told you I got you
interest.
No, he paid me interest, and he was like, and I texted him, and I was just like,
Damn.
what was this for? And he was just like, oh yeah, I told you I got you on Wednesday, 2 Wednesdays ago.
Oh man.
I mean, he remembered. I had no idea. It was like $10. I sent him $10, and it was just like whatever.
Right.
Like I don't know, maybe your bank overdraft or something. You know, we still have those problems. We're not that grown and rich yet. And he was just like, yeah, with interest, and I was like, dude, what?
Wow,
man, that would be tough. So like, all right, so for college athletes, you know how they can't really make money while they're in college, like it's against NCAA rules. Do you think that they could ask people like to Square Cash some money, or is that against regulations? Because that's kind of making money.
It probably is against regulations.
It would have to depend on who you're requesting from.
Everything is against the NCAA regulations. I hate the NCAA.
I mean, I do too. I feel like it's not fair. You have a normal college student who is, playing sports for you and making money for you.
Oh, so much money.
Yeah, and they're like they're really just trying to do that and also promote themselves on the side. Like I saw an article where this guy had a YouTube channel and then it started getting popular. They made him shut it down. He shut it down and then they kicked him off the team.
Oh my god.
They were like, okay, it's either your YouTube or like you're gone. He was a kicker, I think, at UCF. And it's like, what is he doing but being like, you would inspire a normal student that doesn't play sports to do that. You would look at him like, wow, he's smart. He's amazing. Mm-hmm. But from athletics, they don't look at it the same way. Like you're making money off of this video, so no, you got to get out.
Yeah, your likeness or whatever makes you money. And so the NCAA is like, no, you can't do that. But at the same time, Mark Emmert is making millions of dollars. He's the NCAA commissioner or CEO or whatever you want to call him.
The corruption
he's terrible. Like you watch him in interviews and he cannot answer questions because they ask questions a lot of times based around like the payment of athletes and stuff like that, and he just stumbles over his words all the time because he doesn't really know what to say. Right. Yeah, there is no good answer. And I don't know that paying athletes is the solution to the problem or whatever, but my big deal is every time this conversation comes up, we're always talking about like football and basketball. We're always talking about like March Madness and the college football playoffs makes all this money. And in March Madness, they get so much money from March Madness. They could give each athlete X amount of dollars.
Right.
And what people I think always forget about is those smaller sports, like those softball players and those volleyball players and those golfers who still put in countless hours at practice and they can't work. Either they're not allowed to work or they don't have time to work. I mean, if you play a sport and you're in school, you basically have a full-time job with that sport. It's like we're talking they're out at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning to go to lifts or whatever, and then they got to go to practice, and they have off-season training and all that stuff.
Your day is just so regimented.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like you said,
and that's every day.
You get up at 5, you practice, and then you're in the library for however many hours. I wasn't a college athlete, so I know this from like documentaries and things like that. But your life is regimented so strictly.
Yeah.
And then, they only are given a certain amount of money to buy food. Yeah. So, you would know better than anyone. You were a college athlete at Akron.
I was a walk-on. So for me, I think it's even more difficult for the walk-ons because you're a punching bag basically, especially that first year.
Right.
And you're basically only a practice player unless you're like super, super good. And then you may get like, I had buddies that were walk-ons that didn't get a scholarship till their senior year type of stuff. And even as a walk-on, like, you still have to go do your work and like make sure you're good in school and whatnot, but you don't even get some of the same help like the scholarship athletes do. Like, they didn't make me go to study tables or anything like that, which in the long run would have really helped because I failed a class. I failed a class on attendance. Like, I would like go to practice. We practiced at like, during winter conditioning, it was like 5:30. We had to be on the field. And then spring ball, we had to be on the field at 7. And we practiced till like 11:30 or whatever, between meetings and film sessions and practice and your lifts or whatnot.
It's a lot of other things people don't think about.
Yeah. And I would be drained. Like, damn, I would be so drained. And I would like go to my first class, and she was a great teacher, and she always used to let us out early, and I'd be like tired. I would be so tired, and I would just go home and sleep, and I would always sleep through my second class, and it wasn't even a tough class. It was sociology, and I passed all the tests, and I did most of the homework, and at the end of the semester, I failed it because I had a negative 150 points in attendance.
Yeah. Wait, we were in that class together, actually.
Were we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember seeing you at the beginning of the semester.
Yeah,
I didn't even know you at that point, but I remember seeing you, and then out of nowhere, like, you just stopped coming, and then the only time that you did come, you were flirting with a girl, like, the whole time.
Come on, man.
I mean, but you would answer questions, you would do all that, but it was like, okay, now let's flirt.
I don't remember this girl. Like,
gotta get it in somehow, right?
It was what's her name with the red hair? Oh man,
you gonna call her out right now?
Yeah, Kristen.
That's who it was. That was psychology. That was our psychology.
Oh, you said okay. Well, that was that same semester, wasn't it?
No. That was my first semester in college. That was early class.
You're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
I played ball.
Wait, scratch that, delete that. But I really don't know how you guys did it. I mean, from outside in, I worked film for football, and I had to be there at the same hours in the morning and for the whole practice, and then sometimes after. Yeah. And I was even tired. I was even tired enough that I didn't want to go to class, but you guys were actually on the field doing all the hitting and all that and running, and then you had to go to weight sessions and stuff like that. That's too much.
Yo, like, Akron is like it's a mid-major program, and they don't have the same athletes that we have at like Alabama or whatever.
Right.
But when I first started playing ball there, and I was like good in high school. Like, I played both sides of the ball. We had a really small team, so I had to.
Don't let him hype himself up.
I was a pretty solid football player, and I get on the field at Akron, and it's just like, I was like, yo, we went 1-11 last year. How is he so fast? And how did he hit me that hard?
Wait, are you talking about the time in the spring game?
Oh, Big Back killed me. Woo. Oh, man. Yeah. So I'm trying to prove myself because I'm a walk-on, and they like, yo, his name is Big Back for a reason. Don't go head up with him. He will kill you. And I was on kickoff, and I'm just like, I'm gonna hit him as hard as I can. He didn't get hit. No. I ran into him, but he not the one that got hit. No. Oh man. I made a tackle on that play though.
You did.
He hit me. I fell. You were there. You witnessed it. I fell and I got up and I'm making this tackle. Gonna embarrass me. I'm gonna embarrass me, and I'm not gonna make the play.
Were you out for like a few weeks after that? No, after that game?
No.
That was
that after spring ball. I went and was an idiot and played some football and busted my knee up real bad. Yep. So that was that. That was the end of that.
And that's something you can't do as a college athlete either. You can't really have that recreational fun.
Oh yeah,
you could have practice. You could do all that. I mean, yeah, you see some basketball players, just going to the rec and playing off season, but during season, I mean,
because you gotta stay healthy.
Yeah, it's so tight.
Risk it.
Yeah,
even in the pros. Because Richard Jefferson and Channing Frye have their podcast, and they were talking about, I think Kyrie was talking about it, like now in contracts they have like love of the game. So like if you get hurt outside of practice or whatever, usually they're like, that's your fault. But if you were playing basketball, they're like, all right, look, it's a love of the game rule or something like that. So you can actually play basketball outside of being at practice or whatever, which is huge because I mean that's what you do. You know what I'm saying? Especially as a pro, you love doing that. And for them to say you can't touch a basketball outside of practice, like you'd be so bored.
But you don't want them to get better if that's what the case is.
Yeah.
I mean, every time you touch that basketball, you're gonna get better. You're gonna try a different move. You're gonna try something. If I'm restricting you to only these hours, you're not gonna get better. There's just no way.
So as a walk-on athlete, if you were injured, what does the college do for you? What does the program do? Right.
Well, I got injured outside of practice, just like I were talking about with the love of the game thing. Right. There's no love of the game in college.
Right.
It's not the same.
There shouldn't really be in football either, though, unless you're doing routes.
Yeah. There's. I didn't get hurt on the field. I'm sure if I did, it would have been a completely different thing. But I got hurt outside of practice. So
you know what you should have did? Went to the next practice and
I was jacked up. I was jacked up, bro. I was jacked up. I was jacked up bad. Like there was no faking it or nothing like that.
You couldn't have
I walked into practice. No, dude, my knee was swollen so bad. Like there was I could barely walk. Man. But they did rehab me, which was dope. But after I failed all my classes and stuff and I was a walk-on and I was just like, you know what, maybe this is not the best option for me. And I had no health insurance at the time. So when I went back home to New York that summer, I couldn't even go to the doctor and get an MRI or anything. It was real late when I ended up even seeing a doctor at all, because I mean my health insurance ran out in February. And I didn't know. That's another thing when you go to college. It's there's things that your parents would have done for you or whoever your guardian would have done for you that you kind of forget about, which, I mean, I don't think I had any real health insurance until the whole tax thing came out where they were like, if you don't have health insurance, we're charging you. And
with
then I went and
Obamacare?
signed up. Yeah, I went and signed up for Medicaid or whatever. Which one's for old people?
It's the same. Medicare, Obamacare, I think it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I could be
wrong.
But
one of them's for old people. I think Medicaid is for old people.
Yeah.
And Medicare or whatever.
65.
Yeah, so those things are when we go back to talking about college life, those things are some things that you just kind of forget about.
I think that's post college life too. Because I think you're allowed to be on your parents' insurance until you're 26, which I mean I still am, but it comes to that point where you start to really realize that every time you went to the doctor, they were paying something.
Yeah. Right.
Every time you got a prescription, they were probably paying something. And then once that happens, and then you have to pay the bills, you're like, oh, okay. And then you start to get to the point where you have to get the medical plan that fits you best, not the whole family. And it might be different. That'll come out of your check, and it's something you're not used to, and that you're gonna have to develop.
Yeah, and no one really teaches it to you.
Right.
No.
That's what we talked last week. I said I couldn't remember what I learned my second semester of my freshman year, but it's the life experiences that you have to put yourself through. It's not a big deal like scheduling a doctor's appointment, but when you've never had to do that, and then now you're doing all these things as an adult, that's why college is I think one of the biggest reasons why it's so such a learning time. You grow up because you got to do things that you're on your own. That's it.
And I will give it to whoever it is that is really making this work for us. So say you don't know how to schedule a doctor's appointment, they're making it so you can do it online now, or there's an app or something like that. Yeah. Just making it more accessible to us, because we're not going to do it the exact same way our parents did. So that helps us to kind of learn throughout the process, and all these companies online coming up and kind of teaching us this. That's really helpful, just to walk through and say, okay, you didn't learn this anywhere else. Your parents might not know. Here's the step-by-step solution. So I really like that.
I think the setup of college sucks. If I was the one that ran the way the educational system went, first off, okay, gen eds are stupid. I think, in my personal opinion. But at the same time, I was in some gen ed courses with people, and I was just like, how did you make it here? Like, you're not doing this right. Like,
filters them out.
Yeah. But I think for the most part, gen eds are silly. And you should go, and I know a lot of people don't know what they want to do at first, so it's like difficult for them to like pick a major or whatever. But I feel like your first 2 years should be like your coursework, like what you want to learn. Like, if you're not ready to know what you want to do, just don't go to college. Like, go do something else.
Right. Take a year off.
There's other options that you can like go learn something, or you can take a year and work and do something like that. Figure out what you want to do. But I feel like when you go to college, you should be able to jump into some coursework relevant to what you want to do. And your second 2 years in school should be all work experience. Like, I feel like going into your junior year, they need to be like shipping you out to some company or something as an intern. Right. And I think internships need to be paid.
They have to. I'm doing work that somebody else would be doing.
And a lot of internships are free, or you don't get paid or whatever. But I think those, because when you're applying for jobs and stuff, it's like, oh, you need 3 to 5 years of experience of this. You need this. You need so much experience. And you're just like, man, I just graduated. And a lot of course programs, there's not internships.
I think a major that's really good for that is engineering.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Because I think starting junior year, you have to have a co-op. And basically that's just you working for them. Yeah. And then a lot of times right when they graduate, they end up getting a job with that company.
I think that's how all colleges should, like all programs should work. Like, you should have relevant work experience when you graduate. Right. Like, I worked at Starbucks my whole college career, and I'm still working there, just trying to find like jobs and stuff. But I feel like if it was set up in a way where you getting relevant working experience was a part of your education the whole time for all majors, I think that'd be so much better for so many people, because there's tons of people whose resumes are getting just dumped to the side because they don't have any relevant work experience. It's like, oh, well, I studied this, but I never actually worked in it. Right. Like, we've had friends who were engineers who, when it came to the class work part of it, they weren't very good at it, but when it came to the practical side, they were great. Right. Yeah. And I think a lot of people will have that problem. You always talk about like book smart versus street smart. So I think the way college is set up is just ridiculous.
It is a big disconnect between what you learn in a classroom and then doing it in real life. Yeah. It's just so different. You know, college,
it's nowhere near the same.
Yeah. You just want that degree, and then you get out in the real world and, oh, this is the actual process of what I'm doing.
Right. Yeah. I remember looking for a job after college, and it was a shit show. I remember like everyone wanted so much experience, like Val said.
It's stressful.
And they wanted they wanted me to have like a Nobel Peace Prize, like 5 gold medals, maybe 1 bronze. Like, that's acceptable. And just like 10 years of experience. I'm like, what? I'm 22 right now. Like, 10 years of that? Come on.
We're only hiring people that are from 21 to 25, but you need 11 years of experience. So I hope you're prepared.
Right. And I'm just like, come on. Are you guys serious? Like, where are the entry level positions just seem like way too, like, I couldn't even get in there half the time. Yeah. And they just didn't seem like they were anything.
You see job posting is like entry level position, experience needed. Right. 3 years. How is it an entry level position, man? Like,
does my college like count as experience? I think part of it should. Right. I don't know.
That's exactly why I think college should be set up the way we just talked about, like relevant work experience junior and senior year for sure. Right.
Oh
like,
yeah.
That should be there should be someone whose job that's their job. Like, just like the engineers, a lot of engineer people, their advisor is like, oh well, these are the co-ops that are open or whatever. Right. And I think that should be with all majors. Like, when I had to do an internship for my major, but like when I went to my advisor, he was basically just like, just work for Akron's team, and I was like, isn't there like other options out there? Like, do you have no resources to like help me as a student find something different? Like, this is Akron, I go to school here, I played on that team for a little bit. What if I want to see something different in terms of like my relevant work experience? And so I did my searching for my internship and going out and getting it. I did that all myself, and I was just like firing out emails to every possible coach who I could find their name at the local high schools. But I feel like there should be like a little bit of help with that.
Yeah. And also, Val, I'm not gonna name the school out, but one person ignored him, One team, they ignored him every time he attempted, and that's the rival school, and they don't have a state championship.
Well, they have multiple state championships. But not
since Val's been in the field, they don't have that championship, and they could have used him because this would have been all their championships. Just throwing it out there.
You guys need to just stop doing that.
Hey, when he becomes a Browns coach, a Giants coach, championships. I'm just saying.
There you go.
Like, he's that good of a coach.
I try.
Stop sleeping on my boy.
Hopefully somebody hears this and like, well, let's take a chance on this kid.
Right. I mean, you gotta network yourself. You gotta put yourself out there somehow.
Some college coaching jobs, which will be sweet, but
better be D1. We don't do anything
straight to the top.
One of them is D1.
Yeah.
You don't just go straight to the top.
You're low key like Nick Saban.
I had a college professor once who her husband was a NCAA coach, and she was telling me he moved around maybe once every 2 years.
Yeah,
that
happens.
Like, you move around a lot.
Yeah. That happens almost with any sport position in a way. Yeah. So
she was like,
my boss for video.
Yeah.
He moved two. I think he moved twice in 1 year too. But he would be all over the coast. I think he even went to Hawaii, Oklahoma, back over here. I'm like, dude,
that's insane.
I mean, it's cool if you like that travel life, and also to think you're living in that one spot, but you're traveling. Depending on your sport, you're traveling a whole bunch, and you're barely ever home.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I think it's just something that you have to be prepared, because I mean, a lot of other jobs you travel a lot. Right. You don't bounce as much in terms of like living there, but you do travel a lot with a lot of jobs. So I just think it's something that you have to be prepared for.
I definitely want to travel more with my job.
Yeah, like
I travel to places, but they're not like the flashy places like the New York Cities, the LAs, and
New York City stink anyway. Like
it does.
It smells bad.
It is. It's definitely not what it's like what everyone says it's gonna be.
No.
Yeah. I remember everyone's New York, and I'm like, come on. I get there and it's just dirty and like people are all touching me and stuff. Like, I love going there, but I would not live there.
It's way more spread out than Hollywood makes it seem. You go to New York City for the first time, and it's not what you expect.
Nope,
that's for sure. Anywhere, and not just New York City,
right? And like you get on the subway and people are just all up on you. Like, I'm like an open-minded person, so I'm cool with it. But I remember my dad. He went to New York for the first time because my stepmom loves New York, and he's on the subway and he took a picture. He's like, "This is my view right now," and he sent it to me. And it's some guy's like holding the handrail and his butt's like in his face, and he's like, "I just hate people touching me." I was like, "Well, have fun in New York. This is your first day out of a whole week. Have fun."
Yeah.
I'm not about it. Like, I don't want to go to a restaurant and sit shoulder to shoulder with people.
And that's the thing. Everything in New York City is small. Everything is so much smaller because you pay so much per square footage. Mm-hmm. Everything is so condensed. It's insane.
Yeah, well, I mean, usually when people talk about New York City, they talk about Manhattan.
Right.
They talk about the rest of the city. People forget that it's so big.
It is.
People are usually talking about Manhattan, and Manhattan is really cramped up, and you do live in a box and pay a lot of money for it if you live there, unless you have like buttloads of money.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool.
Style. I mean, but you live there, so
lived. I will never move back to New York City ever.
Hey, Southside Jamaica Queens, Nikki, holla at him. It's your boy. We out here. Promote our podcast, Nikki.
Oh my god.
Your cousin's on here.
Please stop. Not all black people are related.
Yo, no, for real. They're both from the same spot. Even before they came here, they're both from the same spot in Jamaica.
She didn't come here. Don't say they.
They came here at the same time. Don't
let you travel together.
Clowning. Stop clowning like y'all weren't on the same boat coming over here together.
What? I don't even think we're from the same place.
That's your cousin.
It's not all black people are related.
No, that's not what I'm saying. You guys are related though, and y'all live next door to each other. Stop trying to disown her.
We did not live next door to each other.
Man, you were claiming her before.
What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? I said we were from the same neighborhood.
Mm-hmm. They're cousins, Chuck. They're cousins.
You got problems. You got problems. You have serious problems.
No, for real though.
Bro, okay, but did you see James Harden embarrass Wesley Johnson though?
Oh, bro.
You have to retire after something like that. Like, you can't go back on the court after something like that.
I mean,
all right,
it's sad that you
James
have
Harden
to.
traveled though. Like, I'm just saying, he traveled. He did.
I don't think he did.
Yes, he did.
Bro, ever since LeBron came into the NBA, you're allowed to take extra steps.
Oh, yeah.
And that was just
Isaiah Thomas? Like,
yeah,
come on, man.
that was one extra step.
Backwards.
Yeah, so he shot a 3. That was pivot foot.
He didn't pivot.
That was pivot foot.
All right. So you don't play basketball is what I'm hearing.
Hey.
Like you don't even watch it.
Like my dude Johnny say, I ball, but I ain't got no jumper.
That's not what he said.
Oh.
He says ball
something
hard.
Like that.
Ball hard can't hoop for shit.
Yeah, that's what he says. No, somebody else said that. But shout out Johnny though, because that's how I am.
You ball
I
hard
stay
but
balling.
can't hoop?
Yeah, but like I watch it and I know what's going on.
Clearly not.
He didn't travel. And Skip Bayless tried to say that he pushed him in the chest.
I don't know about the push, but he definitely traveled.
I mean, both of them really just knew what happened in that moment because they both laughed. Wesley was on the ground and still was laughing and then got back up. Like, that was so disrespectful, though.
Yeah, but I think basketball is so much different now as opposed to it was back in the day where, like, teams hated each other. Like, when the Fab Five or whatever, that kind of... When the Pistons were, like, running the show defensively, like, people hated each other. Like,
they were throwing punches and stuff like that.
Teams hated each other.
Yeah.
And now, like, I think a lot of the people in the league now, like, grew up playing, like, AAU and stuff like that. So there's not as much animosity. Man. So so for them to, like, laugh about that is like when we were kids and we were watching the NBA, like, it would have probably been a fight.
I'm just gonna get up and throw hands if you do that to me. Like, come on, you just ruined my career. I gotta do something about it. Yeah. Right? That's like somebody somebody just dog you,
now when
and you
Google
just sit
him,
there.
Now when you Google him, that's what's gonna come up.
His
James
ankle?
Harden dropping.
His ankle just sideways. You ever seen that thing of it was the meme of RG3 when he was like on the field and his leg was kind of broke looking?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was like dude, the stanky leg.
He was doing a dance
they
move.
embarrassed him. That's pretty much what it's gonna be. Old boy is gonna need life alert from now on.
RG3 was dope too. Like,
he was
just, that being injury prone was just so bad for him.
Yeah, but that's the jump from college to the NFL.
He didn't get, but that first time they didn't let him heal all the way. And like apparently the team doctors and the actual I'm not saying the team doctor is not an actual doctor, but the outside doctor were not exactly in agreement.
Right.
And they ended up letting him play anyway. And it was like a Boobie Miles injury. Like, he wasn't supposed to play, but he played anyway. And then just it got worse.
Yeah. Right.
So that sucks. Like, I really, because he had so much potential.
Yeah, and but is
he still the last person that won a game for the Browns?
No.
Or is that Johnny?
That was Johnny.
Yeah.
Damn. That was Johnny. But
that's
I mean,
bad.
The Browns aren't too good at picking. I mean, this year I really hope that they pick Saquon Barkley. Like, I'll take Kaiser first, or like have him still be our quarterback and not worry about a quarterback, and then just go with Saquon Barkley, because I'm sick of us staying in the draft and picking somebody and letting other picks go by. Like, we could have had Julio.
Yeah.
Come on. And people are like, when people go to the Browns, they suck. That's because we get sucky people. How about we just get Julio? Like, Saquon's like everybody like that.
Well,
he's
so
phenomenal.
did you hear the Browns owner? This was a couple months ago. He was in a press conference and said he made a statement saying, "Well, up until now, we've never picked real players."
Yeah, and I agree with that.
That's just an embarrassment to the players.
First of all,
straight embarrassing.
You
people.
just threw your team under the bus because
mean,
y'all are not real players who we have picked in the past.
But is he wrong?
But now I really want to see who they're picking this year. Is it going to be different?
But they said they're open to hearing entertaining trade offers for the first pick. And I'm so pissed about that, because they always do that. And then they give away somebody great. Right. Like, if your team is struggling, stop trading away the first pick. Yeah. Like, it semi-worked the one time where they got 2 good picks the next year. But, like, they still don't know how to use those right. So don't do that until you have, somebody worthy. I mean, how could you not get Saquon Barkley when his numbers are just ridiculous?
But then you got Baker Mayfield knocking on the door.
Yeah, but he's another Johnny. Like, let's not do that.
Yeah.
Let's worry about developing who we have and maybe getting somebody off a free agent wire.
But do they have the staff to develop a winning team?
I think that's a huge question.
Do you think it's the players?
Yeah,
do you think it's the players? Do you think it's the staff?
I think that's a huge question with their organization, because their organization just seems funky sometimes. Like, especially come draft day and stuff like that. It's like, what were you guys thinking? Right. This is clearly not the players. I mean, what was it, 2 years ago? I want to say for the first like 5 games of the season, Isaiah Crowell was the number 1 rusher in the league, and it was just like, so they clearly have something going right, because a running back isn't the best rusher in the league for 5 weeks straight without other things around him going right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You have to have another dimension to your game for
your
somebody
line,
to beat. Yeah.
Your line has to be working.
Yeah.
Your pass game is probably working if his running is popping off.
But then it just seems like they make silly decisions.
All right. I have a conspiracy right now. Take it for what it's worth. I talk crazy all the time, but this makes sense to me. I think that the Browns are a money laundering business. Because, all right, say you're the Patriots. People will look into you if you keep winning. Something's wrong in your organization, right? Like you're juicing. They found them with the whole videotape scandal. They found them deflating balls. You look into winners because you don't want them to keep winning. Are you ever gonna look that deep into a losing organization? You're just gonna be like, well, they suck. They're clearly not doing stuff right. Drug money's going into that business.
Drug money.
Yes. Wow. Okay.
That's what claim. That's what money laundering is.
That's a bold claim. One. That's crazy.
See,
that's
conspiracy.
That's crazy.
Are you talking maybe like embezzling? Like, do you think
something like it's either laundering money, embezzling, like something screwy with that? Like, there's just no way that it goes this long with them being that bad. They've changed the front office so many times. They changed the owner. They changed. I think that there's something up with the city going.
The owner in the front office has changed. So
where's that money going?
You think somebody was doing it, and then now a new person is
doing
it?
I'll sell you the team for cheaper than it's gonna be. Okay, well, but you're coming into this. You're gonna make some money on the side, but you're gonna take this risk.
Who's at the top? If the owner has changed,
the Illuminati. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Not the Illuminati, but I mean, there has to be somebody. There's just logically no way that the team can be this bad.
I think you're just trying to
long.
put a scapegoat on just a bad organization.
Something.
Have you been a Browns fan all your life, Jay?
No.
No.
When I was a kid, I was an Eagles fan.
So
actually.
this is not like.
Oh, you're a McNabb kid?
Oh my God. Wait. It was T.O., but I love McNabb.
Yeah.
Dawkins was the best safety, in my opinion.
Ever.
Like, he just laid down the hit all the time. They had Westbrook as their running back. Savage.
So your Browns conspiracy is not just something to make you feel better about the team you're a fan of. Like, this, you were really thinking about this. Like, this is something that you really believe.
Yes. Well, all right, part of me wants to believe that. It's not like an escape, like, out of this situation or anything like that, but I do think that something has to be up. Something has to be up with this.
I just thought that you were a Browns fan your whole life and you just wanted to make an excuse for them.
Jay
being
has,
bad.
like, the pictures on his wall. Like,
I'm pinpointing it. I'm pinpointing it. I actually do have
yarn going across.
I have that.
He's thought about this.
I mean, that's fine.
But you've been the worst team consecutive, and it's not like, okay, we just won a few games here. It's like, no, we're barely winning games for years and years and years.
Yeah.
And hopefully not next year. But I mean, they can easily be scheming.
All right, if they don't pick Saquon Barkley, there's something going on.
We'll have to revisit this.
It's like, ooh, this is one of the best players to come out of college. Oh, let's skip on him. Let's trade that pick away.
Lima, we were talking about how Saquon Barkley did 29 reps of the bench press or whatever, and
225 was it?
225.
29 reps, which is more. I think one more than Joe Thomas did when he was there,
and Luke Kuechly.
And Lima was. So we were talking about it in one of our group messages, and Lima's he's a strength and conditioning coach, and he was basically saying, like, that's not that impressive. And I was just like, what do you mean that's not impressive? Like, that just doesn't make any sense to me. And he was just like, well, most of it is them bouncing the weight off their chest anyway.
That's true.
And I was like, I understand, like, that the form is not great, but at the same time, like, there's a huge sample size for you to choose from and see, like, how well he did in comparison to other people who are NFL players.
But also, everyone can bounce the bar off their chest. So if
not 29 times.
What I'm saying is, like, everybody's allowed to do that form. Yeah. So even the lineman got to bounce off his chest, which their chest usually goes out farther, so it's less travel down to their chest. They're using less of their arms a lot of the times.
A lot of them are a lot taller, though,
yeah.
so you have that.
So and it depends. Like you have shorter arms, bigger chest, like you can rap out a little bit more. But if everybody's able to do that, and he's still a running back at, what was he, like
233 pounds,
230 something?
Yeah, 233. He ran a 4.4, 29 reps on the bench press,
right?
A 41-inch vertical, I want to say.
Yeah, and he runs faster. He ran faster than Ezekiel Elliott and jumped higher than Odell Beckham.
Yeah,
he's just a monster.
Was he a sophomore?
Yeah.
Was he a sophomore? Did he come out after his sophomore year? Like, I legit don't know. How long did he spend at Penn State?
Don't you have to do 3 years in college?
I thought it was 2.
I thought it was 2 as well, but like somebody.
I know basketball is 1 and done.
Somebody said something the other day, and it proved me wrong. And I thought I said you only had to do 2 years, but they said 3.
He did 3.
Yeah, I think you have to do 3. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, I mean, just coming out at that age and being that good, like he's just persistent.
The man studied journalism at Penn State. Yeah. He was born February 9th, 97. He's 5'11", 233.
It's hard to look at these athletes and be like, oh, they're that much younger than us.
Yeah.
Like,
it's weird.
Yeah. It was, I think the first time I recognized it was when they were the same age as us.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, Kyrie's like our age and he's like pro and just killing it right now.
What about Cedi Osman from the Cavs? He's like 22.
Yeah.
He's a foreign player, but he's been
really
pro
good
since he was like 16 or something like that.
Kyrie didn't play that long in college either, right?
He played like 10 games.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But like that, I think that counts.
Wait, for real?
Yeah, he was on the team. He got injured.
And still went to the draft?
Yeah, I really think like he could have pulled like a Kobe or LeBron and went from.
They're talking about pulling that though, aren't they?
Yeah,
they're ending the one and done rule. It's
talked
about.
Yeah, but that's another thing relating back to the NCAA where. I mean, should that be an effect to where they have to do that college thing? Because what are they really getting out of college but making the NCAA and the college teams money?
Right.
Or if they can sustain and just go to the league, I mean, why not just do that? And that's what that big baller league thing where they were trying to make that where it's like, okay, well, you don't have to go to college. You can spend your 2 years that you have to wait or 1 year out of high school that you have to wait and just play here and make money. Like why wouldn't you do that?
So is the rule that you have to play in college for a year?
No, you have to be a year or 2 removed from high school.
Huh.
And that's what they were saying, like where LeVar was saying that LaMelo could go play overseas
and come back and go
and
pro.
then come back and go pro, and that's why he pulled the
UCLA thing.
What was Jello?
Yeah,
he pulled him and did the same thing. So part of me thinks that. I really think that LeVar is a smart man.
Oh, it's an age requirement. That's what it is.
You have to be a year older than. You have to be 19.
You have to be 19 or older to be in the NBA draft.
Mm-hmm. So
or be selected to play for the NBA.
So just so everyone knows, I really like LeVar Ball, and I watch like the Ball in the Family and stuff like that too, and I listen to everything that he says on that. So like LaMelo's gonna be. He's going to be over there. He's going to be overseas for 2 years.
Yeah, he's only like 17, right?
16.
16? All right, so you said it's an age requirement?
Yeah.
So you have to be 19. So what if you... So you're telling me that you get a kid, goes to college early, right? He gets there at like 17.
Right.
And he absolutely dominates. But draft time, he's only 18. They can't take him, even though he played a year?
I think, but I just think that you'll still be 18 within that year.
Yeah, you'll be 18 if you come into school at 17 and play a year. You turn 18.
Do you think it's by the time the season starts? Like you have to be 18? Because what if they can draft you and in between the time of you getting drafted and the season starts, you turn 18?
He said 19.
Oh, sorry, 19. I mean, because most times you're going to be 18 either before you graduate or shortly after.
Maybe it's just based on that year. Like this year you're turning 19, so this year you can.
You're eligible. Right. I didn't know that. Like I didn't know it was an age requirement.
Yeah.
I just thought you had to go play in college for a year or be pro overseas because they get international players all the time.
But
that's
I mean,
kind of interesting
to even think about playing overseas. You can get money for playing overseas, and they still send scouts overseas, but the exposure isn't as high as like the college play is here.
Yeah.
So, and that's why I like that whole like LeVar Ball thing, where it's like I'm gonna create a league where if they want to, they can play. They can play here, and I'm gonna pay them money because they're gonna bring our league views, and people are gonna come here. So why deal with a crooked NCAA when you can come here and I'm gonna pay you? And yeah, it could be a little flawed because how do you know that people are gonna come there and get paid and how much they're gonna get paid? And also, how do you retain that talent? If they're all looking to go to the league, are you recycling and refreshing the league every year? Or are you going to pick also kids who aren't league bound just yet?
So they got to sustain.
Yeah. So they might do like 5 years.
Sustain the organization,
mm-hmm. Or and then what about
the G League? Like, isn't
you? You technically have to be old enough. You have to get picked up by that team. So that's technically.
It's the same thing as
the G League is like the farm system.
Yeah, it's basically going to the NBA, and
it's
then
like the minors for baseball.
So again, you have to be 19 to do G League.
Yeah,
I guess. There's a D League and a G League, right? What's the difference?
I think they switched.
They switched it to G League.
It's owned by Gatorade, so
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes so much sense because I was just like, what is it? Is it like AA and AAA? Like, I don't know.
No, it's not like baseball. Baseball has way too many developmental.
There's so many
leagues.
levels. Yeah,
you could stay in there your whole life.
Baseball, you can still go from high school though, can't you?
Yes. Yeah.
And they just put you in the minors.
No, you can go from high school to I don't know. Actually.
I'm pretty sure you can go from. I mean, but
like if you're good enough, you can go to MLB.
Yes, but the reason why you're going to be in the minors is because it's going to be real tough to get you from high school ball to professional. Like I think it's just so slim when they have people who they've been farming for years.
Yeah,
and you work your way up through the farm system anyway. And then you're looking for somebody to get traded, retire, or for you to just become that good to make that spot on the roster. Mm-hmm. Like there's only a few spots on that main roster. So, and that's tough.
Pitchers.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, and that's international game too, where people have been playing since they were kids. And I remember Lindor came over here. I think he had to have been like 16, 17 or something like that. Him and Ramirez and somebody else, we've had them on the farm team for a while.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those things where I always wonder, because baseball is like America's pastime. You know what I'm saying? It was always like this huge, like prideful American sport. How did these like third world countries produce these monsters in a game that was like this American game? Like, when did that start?
I think it's because it'll take money to play it in a way, like if you get the proper stuff, but you can easily start playing with a stick of some sort.
It's an
something
easy
that
game
you made
to
out.
start up.
And even if you don't have a mitt, you learn with your hand. And then you keep coming up like that. So now they're playing that in China, they're playing that in Cuba and places like that, and they're in Puerto Rico, and they're really some of the top players.
Yeah,
so we're going there before we're going to a lot of these college players.
Which is crazy to me to think about the game now. Like they have like the Little League World Series, like, and it's this huge deal baseball is in our country, and we like the majority of the MLB are like these dogs from other countries.
Right. I mean, you'll see a lot of those kids from minor leagues. You'll see a lot of them, or not minor leagues, little leagues go to there, because like when you see them in the All-Star game and stuff like that, they'll be like, oh, here's a flashback back to the Little League World Series when he was there. That happens a lot. Yeah.
Which, and it's not really like that with any other sport in America.
AAU?
Olympic sports.
Okay.
There is a lot of in the Olympic sport world, but like with football and like basketball has a lot of international players, but nowhere close to what I feel like baseball has.
Yeah.
But I think to answer your question that you asked before, when did all these foreign people come in and really take over the sport? I feel like baseball has always been like that. There's a lot of guys.
I don't follow baseball, so I don't really know.
It's pretty much been like that.
But I don't know if this is true or not. But since like Jackie Robinson broke that barrier, that's I think baseball as an organization and people who watch baseball, they were still hesitant on bringing in colored people into their sport. But I think since then it's just opened up, and
I agree.
For a long time you have people from different countries play in the MLB.
Right. I mean, and they're definitely up there. I think they're up there with soccer. Well, I mean, soccer's clearly blowing them out the water of foreign teams, but I mean, they're probably like the next.
No, I think cricket. Cricket is after soccer.
But then I think the thing that's crazy about that is we don't play cricket here.
Yeah, we're not good at it.
Like, no, we're just like, no, we don't do that. Stick to baseball.
I have no idea when was the last time that I heard anything about America's cricket team.
I used to watch it.
Have one.
Do we even have one?
I don't think we do.
I don't know.
When the ICC World Cup comes around, I don't ever remember seeing an American
I remember
flag.
watching it, and I had no clue what was going on.
India is really good.
Yep.
Ireland is really good.
Australia, I think
is really good.
The USACA, United States National Cricket Team, and started in '65.
Yeah,
wow.
we just must not be that good.
Wow.
They're sitting out with our soccer team.
But I feel like
the World Cup.
I don't know. I feel like baseball is slowly not becoming America's sport anymore.
Yeah, because they're trying to keep it so traditional. And I mean, I remember Bryce Harper got fined for putting something on his bat. It was like a hologram or something like that.
Really?
And yeah, they really want to keep it very traditional, but they're losing views because traditional is not working anymore. You have to like update yourself.
They put in a time clock a couple years ago to speed up the game. I know that.
And they put in replay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Replay is a recent
I hate
baseball
the
thing,
replay.
or like your challenge.
I hate replay and challenge in any sport now.
Yeah, baseball's already slow enough.
It just takes too much time. It takes way too much time. But
I love going to baseball games though. Like watching it on TV
it's the atmosphere
is all right.
Being in a baseball stadium.
But but going to a baseball game is so like I cannot
or a baseball
wait.
park, I should say.
There's
the
something so great about spending $15 a beer to just watch the game.
I don't know if I would call it great about spending $15 a beer. I don't necessarily agree with you on that, conspiracy theorist. But it is a very, very fun atmosphere to be at a baseball game. And I mean, like, I love football. Football is my thing. It's my passion. But I think actually going to a baseball game, for some reason, even if we go with the same exact group of people, I feel like we have more fun at the baseball game.
Many people
don't really even watch it.
Yeah. I know. Well, many people would know this. This podcast was started at an Indians game.
It was.
At Progressive Field.
Yeah.
Remember that day?
Yeah.
Wow. Way to take it back, Chuck.
Yeah.
But
so there we go. The Indians started this podcast.
Just drinking at an Indians game.
Sponsorship.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, it's definitely fun, and I know so many girls who love to go to baseball games, and they don't even know baseball.
It's chill.
That's one of the funniest thing to me is like, oh, I can't wait for the Indians. So what's a home run? When the batter scores, and I'm like, yeah technically
sure.
There's a lot of girls that we know that we ask them the technical things, and
where is shortstop?
And they kind of answer it, and it's like,
I'll give that to you.
Close enough. I mean, because technically that is a home run, so that was a bad example. But
did you guys play Little League?
Yeah. I went from T-ball
I was trash.
all the way up to high school.
I was outfield.
Oh, were you playing with the dandelions and picking the grass?
Oh yeah, dude. I was like up here,
looking at the planes and stuff.
Baseball was not my game.
The ball comes out to you, and you're just like, oh crap, I didn't pay attention this far. What do I do with this?
I think I lost love for the sport one time. I was at a park game. It was my sister's little league. They had the end of the year family day or whatever, and I'm playing second base, and I'm just standing there again, kicking the dirt, not paying attention. This girl comes up to bat, right? She never hit a ball all year. Pitch goes up. She line drives it straight to my face. I get hit right between the eyes. And I remember getting hit and standing there. My dad turned around being like, "You all right?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then I just hit the ground. And that was it. I had a goose egg between my eyes for like a month.
And that ended Chuck's baseball career.
That was it.
I lasted until like sophomore year of high school, but I was better at football, so that's why I took up track instead.
Yeah.
Just to get my speed up and get my conditioning up. But
that was another one I could
do. I think like the craziest part of baseball was like the developmental phase where everyone was trying out their curveball and different pitches and stuff like that, and it was just wild.
See, I never had that.
Getting crunched in the face.
Dude, I had to have been either 8th grade or freshman year, and some guy tried his curveball on me, and I want to say like it just wasn't down packed. I don't know if it was his first time or whatnot, but I thought it was just gonna be a wild pitch, and he threw it like way far behind me. That ball curved, strong curve, right into my butt, just like my butt cheek, just bow, and I'm just like, okay,
that doesn't even sound possible.
like, dude. People can like that curve is real strong.
Oh my
like
God.
When you see a really good curveball, it's crazy because it'll come up and look like it's gonna hit you, and then curve right in the strike zone, and you're just like, crap. Okay, I didn't see that coming.
Insane.
But I haven't seen like a clean curve before that. But he threw it. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna just stand here. That's fine. And then it just came back, hit me. I was like, whoa, where'd that come from? But it was crazy to come to a level and see people start doing that. Like when they start throwing different pitches and you have to look for something that's just not right over the plate, or like change-ups are crazy too. If you ever see somebody who can throw a mean change-up, you're like, ooh, I'm about to cream this. It's coming right over the plate, and then it just drops.
I never made it to that level. I never had to worry about that.
The most formal I ever got playing a baseball, we played slow pitch softball in Millennials, and Jay threw a ball in my face. So
woo! I messed him up. I almost killed Abby twice too.
To be fair,
sons of pitches though.
yeah.
Sons of
to
pitches.
be fair,
Sons of pitches.
we were always playing a man down, and Jay was playing third base and outfield.
What was this?
Yeah, this was like towards the end of the
2015
season,
maybe?
2015. Were you there? You were there.
For Sons of Pitches?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
that was Sons of Pitches. Remember we were always down that person, so I'd always had to play in the middle. So
Yeah.
I was half outfield, half third, and
we,
that was
we were
around
playing the baseball players,
Yeah, that was crazy.
and they just kept on like popping them far. And
Yeah.
Jay's like midway between the end line and like third base, gets it and like tries his hardest to sling it to me at first base, like complete opposite end of the field.
And
No
you're
cutoff,
stretching.
no cutoff, man.
You
He
can't
just
cut off.
flings it. I mean, I don't really know that much about baseball, but I know sometimes you throw it to somebody in between.
No, I mean
It doesn't matter
You're
at this
supposed
point.
to, but if your arm is strong enough and you can get it there, then
I'm like
you could
stretched
just go for
out. Only my big toe is on the bag. I'm like all the way stretched out, and it just falls just short enough that it misses my mitt and just busts my lip wide open.
So also, if Val was a baseball player, he would know the short hop. Like if it landed in front of him, he can back up a little bit and just get it off the hop. But he was stretching for it just to catch the ball. And then I saw it, and it just knocked his face off. Like, did you have to wear a
I wore a mouthpiece after that.
Yeah, you wore a mouthpiece.
I wore the pacifier one too, covered my whole lip and everything. They was like, "What are you doing? This is baseball." And I was like, "Last week I got hit in the face."
The same thing happened, or it didn't happen, but it almost did like 3 times with our catcher. So our catcher is one of our friends. She was right there, but she had a tendency not to pay attention to the end of the play. She thought since one of the people scored, that was kind of it.
Her job
so
was
she
over.
so she picked up the bat and went to throw it out of the way, but there was somebody coming home, so I was in outfield and it came to me and I just drilled it, just so much heat on that ball, just right to her, and I'm like Abby, what are you doing? Look. She looked up and just got out of the way. I almost hit her in the face.
I'm amazed that we
like
got
2
as
other
far
times.
as we did.
I think we were in the championship game,
No,
weren't we?
semifinals. I think we might have lost.
No, we came
No,
second.
we came
We came second?
I got
Yeah.
a silver in IM leagues.
Oh man. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember when we had that doubleheader and we decided that was the perfect time to go to the bar in between the games?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That's why I was there.
Yeah,
Or I played.
that was fun. We got I think we got fries. That's when the bar first got fries.
Mm.
Yeah.
It was smacking. Manny's fries is bad.
And then I think we won the second game.
yeah,
We lost the first one
and won the second
won
one.
the second
That's
one.
right.
We just needed some confidence juice. In
It's
us.
a true beer league.
That was fun though. It was a good time.
Yeah.
That was
Intramurals were the best.
Another big college life thing. So I mean, I had fun. We had fun in college. We definitely had fun in college.
Absolutely.
All right. Really quick, speaking of sports, I wanted to touch on driving down the highway and seeing those Philadelphia billboards.
Yeah.
There's 3, and they're all Philly wants LeBron, and it shows like the lineup and everything. Everyone's probably seen it already, but like, how crazy is that? That people are taking out money now to buy expensive billboards to try to get LeBron. Like,
Well, my whole thing
it's not gonna
with-
work.
I think this is just like a bunch of bullshit because you're Philadelphia. Like Joel Embiid is talking about the process,
Right.
you know,
That's part of it.
and the process is to get LeBron. That can't be it. Like I feel like
That can't be the process.
They're knocking down the process because it's just like, oh well, let's just get LeBron and everything will be all right.
This process.
I feel like that's not their process.
No, but I mean,
Cleveland came back though. Cleveland put up a billboard about you can't have him or something.
Yeah, but it was
the middle finger.
Yeah, it was like Cleveland's businesses paid for it, but still we're going that far to buy billboards in people's cities now.
Yeah. And
also, do you guys think that LeBron's gonna stay here?
Yes. I'll be the first to say I don't think he's going anywhere.
My personal opinion is I think the next time LeBron leaves Cleveland, he's leaving basketball. I think he's going to be here till he retires.
Yeah.
His retirement's going to be after his son comes into the league.
Do you think he's going to stay around that long?
That's what's that, 5 years, 5-6 years?
His son's, how old is his son now? What grade is he?
He's about to be a freshman this upcoming year, I think.
So he has 4. So LeBron's been playing for 15 already?
Yeah.
So he has 4 years in high school and then at least 1 year in college. Or if he's good enough, and by the time he's a senior, one and done is gone.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big if.
Wow. Yeah, it's a big if. So 4, maybe 5, 6 years.
But I think LeBron has a lot left in him.
Oh yeah,
he's like a machine.
He found the fountain of youth.
Something, yeah,
it's somewhere.
Clearly not. He ain't got no hair.
But yeah,
it doesn't go that far.
No, it doesn't cover hair. That's a different policy. But he hasn't gotten. It's just crazy. Knock on wood. He hasn't gotten injured.
He has not.
How crazy is that? You've seen every other athlete get injured, but he'll turn, and that's what kills me too. Is he hasn't been injured, and he'll turn his ankle or something, and then he'll lay on the floor for 2 hours during game. He's
twisted his ankle a couple times this year,
and then he acts all funny and looks like it hurts, and all of a sudden he'll come back and he's
every
balling.
Single time it's a moment,
right?
Yeah,
every single time,
and then it's he's being LeBron again, just whatever. Shout out to LeBron though. I don't think he'll leave. I think it's stupid to leave, unless his point is because of Dan Gilbert.
So LeBron has to be in the league for 6 more years in order to play with his son.
Yeah, with the rules how they are now.
How they are now.
Yeah.
Which
he's got it. I mean, and he
doesn't really show signs of slowing down.
No, and he could take it easy.
He'll be 40
by that point.
Yeah. Is anybody else in the league? How old is
Vince Carter? Yeah. Vince Carter is 40.
Last year they asked Vince Carter if he would just request a trade to a team where he could win a championship, and he was like, hell no. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to play and make 41. Somebody better.
Yeah.
So he's all about. Is he still with the Kings?
I don't know.
Yes.
But I know I saw
he's
that
41
interview.
Though.
I saw the interview and he was just like, no, I don't I'm not about to just jump to the Warriors or the Cavs or go to the Thunder or something just because I know they have a good fighting chance to win a championship. He's like, I'm more about helping the team I'm with, which is dope. I think it's dope, but I would really like to see him get a ring. For sure. Vince Carter's one of those people that definitely deserves it.
Just like Allen Iverson.
Yeah.
I would, if he can come back now and just be a backup point guard on the Cavs or something, I'm all game.
He's in the big three league.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen that yet?
Oh, yeah. I saw a couple of games.
It's all right.
Yeah, and they have like 4-point spots or something like that if you shoot from a certain point. And so it's kind of entertaining.
Which is kind of what you want.
It's
a half court game.
Yeah.
So it's like, is it make it take it?
I think so.
So it's pretty close to playing street ball, which it looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I would always say that if LeBron left our team how it was last year, if he would have left our team, we would be no better than a big 3 team. We would just have a whole bunch of old dudes trying to play basketball.
You mean when Richard Jefferson and Channing Frye were still there and all that?
I mean, we had no true young people besides Kyrie. I was like, if they both leave, then what do we have?
But that wasn't gonna happen. There was no way, especially with.
But he ruins teams when he leaves.
Because he's so good. I think he's so good.
But it's not even that. It's who he pulls in. He likes to pull in older people who are vets and know what they're doing, or can just play that one role. He likes a lot of 3-point shooters, so he can drive and then just kick out at any point. Mm-hmm. But if you don't have anyone doing that, and you have a whole bunch of role players, you don't really have a team after that. You're like, oh well, I stand at the 3, and it's like, well, who's driving that? Right. Who's facilitating this?
But dude's phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
It's so
if LeBron were to leave, where would he go?
Everyone says West Coast, But I think that he's smarter than to go to the West Coast because that's just competition within the West Coast.
I think you hurt your legacy if you were to do that.
I think so too, but like, does it even matter anymore? We're so used to seeing that.
I've seen this week Kevin Durant, they asked him where he's going to go next year, his player options open or whatever, and he was just like, I don't know, I'm going to wait to see who wins the championship.
That's smart. That's a nice clap back. Good thing he didn't do that on his second Twitter.
I heard about
like
that.
talking crap on his second Twitter. Come on.
He's got like a fake Twitter, is that what it is?
He made a fake Twitter just to talk crap back to the people who were talking about him.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nah. At that level where there's so many people tweeting at you, I don't even see anything wrong with that, whatever.
Yeah.
But he doesn't use his own name, right? Is that what it is?
No.
Why would you even need to do that? Like, Embiid just goes in on people on his Instagram.
Right.
He doesn't care.
Different personalities.
Joel Embiid does not care.
He also has went after Rihanna so many times. You guys remember that?
Yeah. Wasn't it like he asked her on like a date or something, and then she said no, and then like recently she was like she would go on a date with him.
She told him that he needed to be an all-star player,
and he was finally an all-star.
Yeah, and now he's like, I don't even want you. A lot of people were like, "Oh my God, though, that's Rihanna," and it was just like, I agree with Joel Embiid on this one.
Yeah,
I think she's a LeBron fan, right?
Yeah,
because she's been in Cleveland a couple times.
Cleveland, and when he played for the Heat, she always was there.
Yeah,
I mean, LeBron's dope.
I'm a LeBron fan, not just because he's from here. I mean, he's just a great player and a great business person.
Oh yeah.
Like he has so many shows. He's funding a lot of stuff. He's building a school. And, like, he's helped out Akron. Like, they have
he bought out their college of education.
Yeah. Like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
And he'll always be under fire, but he's just a great person for a community. Even if he goes somewhere, he's still funding his community.
Right.
Yeah, which is fire.
Yeah.
He's just a good dude. We went for 120.
You guys want to take it to a break?
Yeah, let's go break. Let's wrap it up. All right.
Or we can.
This is episode 2. I hope you liked it. I think we kind of had a plan to do some things, and we just kind of went with our conversation instead of going with our run sheet. But
right, just let us know how you like that. I mean, it's a learning thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely follow us on Twitter at 2_millennial, and on Instagram at #2millennial. And on Facebook.
That website's coming up
soon,
right?
Yeah. Website is definitely coming soon. It's just going to be 2millennial.com. And we're also on SoundCloud and iTunes. You're probably listening to us on one, but if you have the other and you prefer that, we're on there as well.
Also, give us 5 stars.
Yes, please.
Send that
please
5-star rating.
5 stars. Come on. Help your boys out.
Leave a comment. Tell us what you think.
Yeah,
even if you didn't like it.
Yeah,
let us know.
We want all the feedback. So tweet at us or like comment on our post on Instagram, whatever.
Right.
We want feedback. We want to know what you guys want to hear about. Like if you think there's something that we should talk about, we're all about it. So just like shoot us some comments.
And tell a friend.
Yeah. And don't forget about our challenge of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Challenge of the week. Airdrop a picture of yourself to someone in a public place and see if it works or if like you get a response or something.
I like that.
I mean, it doesn't have to be at the bar. It could be like at the mall or something, whatever.
But the bar is easy.
Yeah.
The bar is easy. Try to get a drink out of it. See what you can do.
Yeah. And we want to know. We want you guys to tweet at us.
And let us know if that works.
Yeah.
I mean, that might be the new way of picking people up.
That's the new sliding into the DMs.
Right?
Airdrop.
Airdropping that phone, baby girl. Hey. Wait, one last thing. If you guys haven't checked out Atlanta Season 2, make sure you guys check that out. I watched it, and it's phenomenal.
I got to get on that Atlanta train.
Yeah. Oh, man. It's just great. I don't want to say anything because I'll spoil it, but it was hilarious. So make sure you guys check that out, and check out Will Smith on Instagram.
Yo, he's fire. He's so dope.
Like, he's my inspiration every day because he's just saying some inspirational stuff all the time. He's funny. Like, thank you 2018 for Will Smith on Instagram. You did your thing. That, Black Panther, and now Atlanta. I'm set. I'm set.
You good for 2018?
Yeah, it was a great year. It was a great year.
You don't even want to live the rest of the year? You good?
See you in 2019. Let's see if you can top this. I mean, even Black Panther's soundtrack was...
Yeah, the soundtrack was
one of the best soundtracks I've ever heard.
You know what? The Bright soundtrack was pretty dope.
Yeah. I heard a few songs off of that.
Yeah,
It had like
dope.
Migos, MGK.
Yeah.
Some really
had
good
a lot
bands.
going on.
Yeah.
I heard that movie was trash though.
It was a Netflix movie.
Yeah,
Netflix
but
movies are good. Huh?
it was more on what they were trying to push.
Oh.
Yeah. So a lot of people didn't like what they were trying to say as opposed to the movie itself. Like,
did you see it?
I did not.
So it was like the human, which was Will Smith. The human cop was pretty much in the position of like a white cop.
They're like, yeah, right. So they're
And
like
then,
personifying what's going on right now.
And then the orgs were like
a
kind of
colored
like
or
black people, like Hispanic, whatever.
Yeah, they were dressed like 2004 like hip hop.
Yeah,
it was like they had on like big jerseys and baggy
right. And then the elves were like a higher class.
Yeah,
I've seen people say that they're like Jewish or something like that. I was like, what? But I mean, however you want to put it. And then it was just pretty much trying to change the perspective of life by putting it into a fairy tale type of way. There was like a fairy that was like a crackhead in the beginning. Like, it was a little different.
All right.
So I think it was more of what it was pushing. It was pushing like a racial thing, but trying to mask that. Yeah. So, I mean, check it out. I mean, it's worth it.
It's on
Netflix.
Netflix. You all got Netflix.
Right. And if you don't have Netflix, you have somebody's password that you can easily put in. Like, I still don't even have my own Netflix. I'm not ever going to get it unless they force me.
No.
Then I might not even get it because they're forcing me. Take that, society. Too millennial out here. But anyways, it's been great, guys. Thank you for listening and love your support. Continue supporting us and tell a friend.
Yeah, thank you. So we'll see y'all next week.
All right.
Yep. See you guys.